Well, hello and welcome to a very overdue bomber run. This was a run put together by the YouTuber Fen Tour. This guy's a very cool guy, his friend David, and we had Reg as well, and some other guys too. And it was a really nice ride. You'll recognise a lot of these places if you watched my Helmet Head run. This because Helmet Head's route took a very similar route and we passed through a lot of the same towns as we did on this ride. But this was filmed before the PTSD ride, so technically this is an original. We started at the petrol station with a small puncture to fix, and we carried on. I'm pleased to say I was on time, and once the puncture was fixed, we got on the road and started the day.
It's done something, but...
Wow, that's louder than I was expecting. That is a lot louder than I was expecting. So as I said earlier, this ride was all organised by Fen Tour. He's an absolutely great guy and he's been YouTubing a lot longer than me, so if you want to check him out, the link is in the description below. So Fen Tour had planned this route and it's something he's done quite often. I wasn't exactly sure who'd be turning up, but we got a real mix of people. We had a Royal Enfield Himalayan, of course another beautiful Triumph Bonneville, a BMW GS, a BMW GT, and of course my Triumph 2. This is one of those open to all YouTube meetups. I think they're a really good way forward, and I think that as long as you don't get a massive crowd, they're pretty easy to match. Conveniently, this one and the Helmet Head run both matched the 6 people rule. This was something we saw, although to be fair, there were not a lot of people around on this day anyway. The route was mainly rural and definitely took us on some faster roads than what I've previously been used to. We were just passing alongside RAF Coningsby, so we thought we'd pull in and have a look. There are some very cool aircraft stored here, and we even got to see some Spitfires, which I'll show you in a few moments. But first, let me show you around the bikes of the day. Now, some people like to ride their motorbikes in a rush. I don't think that's the way forward, and this was definitely a nice paced ride. We were really good at looking after the last person in the group, as well as making sure the people at the front didn't get too bored. We pulled into a popular plane spotting area, and many people seemed to think we had an idea of what was going on. We didn't. We were enjoying the scenery and making the most of the lovely sunny day. Here's a quick peek at all the bikes. They're certainly a different mix, and I'm not sure you'd ever see a group of bikes this mixed, but I think it's about the people, not the bikes they own. I'd be happy with any of these bikes, but of course, I'd probably choose Triumph. We then got back on the bikes and headed just down the road where we noticed these 2 Spitfires, so we thought we'd pull over and try and take some photos. I'll try and get a photo without the grating. These were really exciting to see, although there was no sign of when they were going to start up. So, rather than hang around all day, we took our photos and continued on our ride. Very nice. A nice way to pass the time.
Yeah.
Looking back as I edit this now, it was really nice to be out in the sun. It seems like it's gone really cold really quickly, so it was a great time to be out. As you notice, the fens are very flat, but there was still some scenery to be seen. I'm really looking forward to getting out on my bike. I've let the tyre tread get a little bit lower than it should be. It's one of those things, if you keep looking at your tyres every few days, you'll never notice the difference. And that last bit of tread goes down really quickly. So in a few days' time I've got the bike booked in for a service, and I'm having the new tyres put on, and a new chain and a sprocket too. I've also got some extra bling for it, so I'm looking forward to showing you a quick video of all the little changes I'm going to make to my bike. It'll still look the same, but there's some little bits of protection that need to go on, and some bits that need replacing. It wasn't my fault, a car bumped into me, but I've got all the spare parts to replace now, and some extra little treats for me too for all the hassle. So, I'll share that video with you guys soon. Once I've filmed it, obviously. I haven't filmed it yet. Same with my new tent. I think it's a little bit bigger than I was hoping for, but I'll make a video on that too. We then arrived at RAF Stenengot. This is a listed tower, and it was part of the home radar chain, used in the Second World War to detect enemy aircraft. It gave us a real advantage in the war, and it meant we could see enemy aircraft approaching and be able to track their location using radar signal. This is really interesting and not something I ever learnt at school, but it was really cool to see it up close, and Fen Tour knows a lot about the place, so it was really interesting to hear some history from him. If you're looking for some drone footage of the place, head over to Fen Tour's channel, I'll put a link in the description now. And his video of the bomber run includes a drone flight around the entire tower, which was really scenic and very, very cool to see. He flies his drone so far away, but he's got one of the more fancy ones, so definitely worth checking that video out. I am looking at getting my own drone, although I've got a trip next year and the final destination drones are banned in that country. Not only are they banned, you get a fine if you try and take them in, and they'll take it off you at customs, tape it to the controller, and leave it unboxed in a room. So for the time being I'm focusing on getting a 360 camera instead, and there'll be more details on my big trip next year, slightly closer to the time. I'm also waiting for the self-isolation period to be over. What's happening is I can get into the first and second country with no isolation needed, but the third country I might have to sit around for 2 weeks. I don't really do sitting around very well, and also I can't take any more time off work than the 32 days I've already assigned to this trip. Anyway, I'll be able to share more details with you on that solo trip after Christmas. So let's get back to this video. We soon passed a motorbike cafe which got us thinking about lunch, and then we stopped in at this cafe at the side of this estate. It was really nice to see and the food was great. And overall, I had a really great day, and I definitely learnt some history about the place. I'll be visiting the Fens a bit more. It didn't take me too long to get there. It was about an hour and a half, and it was purely motorways and dual carriageways, so I think I'll be visiting there more. I'll give you an idea of where we were on the map. So here's Skegness, and this area of green here is where we filmed a lot of this trip. I've just finished the first episode of the Devon and Cornwall trip, so I hope you can see that soon. Thanks very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And if you want to check out Fen Tour on YouTube, he's a great guy and I'm really sure you'll love his videos. So thanks very much for watching.